You just watched episode 3 of Westworld season 3, and there's one question on your mind, and that's, what kind of kid pukes up a perfectly good strawberry milkshake? Young Jesse Pinkman, you're never gonna make it through college, come on. But there's another question that you should be thinking about. I'm Tim Surratt from TV Guide, and I'm wondering, who is walking around in Charlotte Hale's body? Before we get to the suspects, let's remember how we got here. Charlotte Hale was an executive director for Delos, who was killed by Dolores in the season 2 finale. Bernard killed Dolores, then uploaded her into a copy of Charlotte's body, allowing Dolores to escape Westworld. Dolores, posing as Charlotte, also took 5 pearls, or those host control units, basically the robot brain of the hosts, off the island with her. One of those belonged to Bernard, who was resurrected by Dolores outside of the park in the real world, and one of those was put inside a new copy of Charlotte's body while Dolores went back into her old body. But whose pearl was it? Ooh, my pearls. Let's take a look at the suspects, shall we? A popular theory out there is that it's Teddy, Dolores' old flame. As one of Dolores' main allies, well, until he shot himself instead of be part of Dolores' big plan to kill all humans, Teddy was one of those people that Dolores could trust the most. And Spoon. And Dolores' conversations with this version of Charlotte indicate that this is someone she's very close to. The problem here is that Teddy was uploaded to the Sublime at the end of season 2, and Lisa Joy and Jonathan Nolan have already indicated that anyone sent to Robot Heaven would stay there. They're done! We're never gonna see them again! But in an obvious Westworld twist, this could be another Teddy. All Dolores would have to do is find another copy of Teddy's brain from Westworld's log to take out of Westworld, and that could be as simple as dragging and dropping a file from a computer to a pearl. It could be dangerous though, as Teddy would have to learn everything about Charlotte's life and her family, and also, now in a woman's body, he'd have to get used to sitting down to pee. Just saying. Another possibility is that it's Angela. You remember Angela, she was one of Dolores' most savage soldiers before she blew herself and some goons up late in season 2. The things I like about Angela being Charlotte is that she's extremely loyal to Dolores, she showed how far she's willing to go for Dolores' cause, and she doesn't have that problem peeing sitting down like Teddy does. But let's face it, Angela's a pretty small character, so the big reveal that she's Charlotte, that would be pretty anticlimactic. Another good theory is that Angela is the host put inside the fake version of Liam's bodyguard. After all, he's more of the soldier type that Angela would be better suited for. What if Charlotte is Peter Abernathy, Dolores' dad? But Dolores loved her dad more than anyone else, so why wouldn't she want to bring him back? But did you see Peter? The guy was certifiable by the end of his run, and he could barely play a robot or pass as a human being, let alone a ruthless corporate executive talking about creeping tenders and stock takeovers. Peter could certainly be in one of the other pearls waiting to be reborn, but it's highly unlikely that he's in Charlotte. What if Charlotte is a new version of Robert Ford? That old lovable coot. Ford pulled every string to give Dolores the opportunity to escape servitude, so maybe she's returning the favor to show him that his plan worked. He's got a grudge against humankind, he knows enough about Delos to participate in corporate meetings, and he's Anthony Hopkins. You don't just dump talent like that in the first season, right? But something stinks with this theory. If Ford was Charlotte, it would be the most Westworld thing that Westworld has ever Westworlded. Here's a radical idea. What if Charlotte is... wait for it. Charlotte! No one's dumb enough to think Delos didn't digitize its executives, right? Let's presume Dolores knew that she would need help on the business side of things in the outside world. Who better to do that than Charlotte herself? Bring her back, use the magic iPad to tune the settings to Dolores' likings, and convince her that now that she's a robot, she should join Dolores' revolution. A digitized Charlotte would be more plug and play than anyone else. Another reason I like this idea is that in episode 3, we saw Charlotte literally clawing her skin off, which follows the idea that a lack of fidelity in digitized humans causes them to glitch in harmful ways. But maybe I'm dumb, because when this Charlotte was woken up, she was like, why the f am I Charlotte? She tried to kill us. That pretty much blows that theory to smithereens. Which brings us to our final guess. And hear me out, what if the host inside Charlotte is another Dolores? We shouldn't be thinking of these hosts as physical entities. They're just code. They're just data. They're a bad LimeWire download from 2006 that corrupted your family's desktop computer. So why shouldn't Dolores be able to Control-C and Control-V herself a couple times?
Doesn't seem that hard.
Yeah, what he said. This is essentially the, if you want something done right, you have to do it yourself theory. So it would make sense that Dolores would give this difficult task to herself. She's also smart enough to understand the corporate world and how to put the boot down on other Delos board members. And the way Dolores and Charlotte talk to each other with doublespeak, it's always a us or we, or, like Dolores told Charlotte, no one knows me like you. But why would this Dolores have problems inside Charlotte's body while the original Dolores didn't? It's probably because of the passage of time. The longer Dolores stays inside Charlotte's body, the more likely she is to go cuckoo bananas. Actually, the biggest threat to this theory is the spooning. If you ask me, pretty weird to spoon yourself. Hey, don't you get any ideas? Who do you think is in Charlotte's body? Let us know in the comments below.